From 2014. Some people are so annoying, so self-absorbed, so entitled in their outlook in life that nothing can be done for them, and there have been many such pairs of people and even nations. Examples include Rudd and Gillard, but consider the two post-Soviet nations of Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine, exploiting the deaths of nearly 300 civilians on MH17, are shelling the evidence and making incursions on Russian separatists. Ukraine have got Washington, D.C. to coordinate sanctions against Russia at the same time, preventing military aid to get to separatists. Maybe there is evidence incriminating Russia, but maybe it incriminates Ukraine. And the prevention of Australian and Dutch police from getting to the crash site should be treated as a war crime. But nothing is new in history. On this day, in 238, two inept bickering Caesars were being derelict in their duty. Rome was threatened by Maximinus Thrax, who had killed the two previous Caesars and was marching on Rome. Come the time, comes the man, and Rome called on the newly crowned Caesars of Pupienus and Balbinus to defend Rome. Pupienus had had military success, but the two argued like an unhappy married couple. Finally, on this day, the Praetorian Guard, bodyguards of the Caesars, who had a duty to Rome, stormed the imperial palace, killed the two idiots, and gave the throne to a grandson of the Caesar killed by Maximinus. It was too late. Maximinus would be Caesar for 3 years, and it was the beginning of a very bad, unhappy leadership of Rome in the 3rd century. Such stupidity is rife in history. In the late 80s, an unsuccessful ALP, Premier Unsworth, suggested an enormous and expensive birthday cake sculpture for Paddington. Today, an equally inept mayor, Clover Moore, has proposed $9 million in sculptures, including a big piece outside the town hall. But a particularly dumb thing in Ireland during the potato famine parallels this foolishness. It is called the Tipperary Revolt, and it highlights how weak leadership inspires idiots. It happened in 1848, a year in which revolutions were rocking Europe, and some Irish got the idea that a revolution like the French one would be grand. The idiot young Irish revolutionaries gathered, and police were dispatched to arrest them. Only the townsfolk thought it clever to make it difficult and gathered on the road with weapons. The police sidestepped the townfolk, but were seen and pursued by them to a townhouse. The desperate police took the family of the house hostage and pointed the weapons in defense of the house against the chasing townspeople. The parents were with the crowd and begged for their children to be given back to them. One of the townsfolk thought they would walk up to the house and negotiate, but when a weapon was discharged, the police fired out of the house and the outraged townsfolk fired in. People were hurt and killed. There was a standoff, and it would later be written that the townsfolk were outraged that their peaceful gathering had come to this. Police reinforcements arrived and the townsfolk dispersed. Who knew that a French-style revolution could turn bloody? Who knows that it is wrong for a city to go into debt for non-infrastructure artwork? Some of the revolutionaries were transported to Australia. Ned Kelly was the son of a convict, but the West has a tradition of grace and kindness when dealing with fools. One such idiot was a Confederate spy. In 1864, a young woman named Bella Boyd. Her father was a Confederate soldier. Some Union sympathizers marked her house as being Confederate in sympathy, and so she killed one of them. The law let her have that, but she was watched, and she cultivated as a lover a Union captain, and obtained secrets from him she tried to get to her Confederate friends. The secrets were intercepted on this day, in 1864, and he was detained for a time, but lived and died free. Also on this day, the great Palenque king Pakal rose to the throne, aged 12 in 615. His mummy has been found. In 1565, Mary, Queen of Scots, married Henry Stuart. 1567, James Stuart, her son, was made King of Scotland. In 1588, Spanish Armada was spanked at the Battle of Gravelines. In 1793, John Graves Simcoe decided Toronto was a nice place for a fort and settlement near the bay. In 1836, the Arc de Triomphe was built to commemorate those who died in service to France during the Revolution and Napoleonic Wars. In 1899, the first Hague Convention was signed. In 1900, an anarchist killed the Italian king. In 1907, Sir Robert Baden-Powell set up the first scout camp. In 1921, Hitler became Nazi leader. In 1948, the Olympic Games resumed after a 12-year hiatus. In 1959, the first congressional elections were held in Hawaii, sometimes mistaken for Kenya. In 1976, Son of Sam killed an innocent victim. In 1981, hundreds of millions watched a young woman marry a jaded older Prince of Wales who never really loved her. That's it for today. If you come by this video at a later time and you like it, Also, feel free to comment and share. Spread the love. Be well.